Happy Monday. We're back at it again. So, to be completely honest with you, I was having a very leisurely morning, editing in bed. And then I got a call from my day job saying, like, hey, we had a last minute thing come up at 9 a.m. Would you be able to cover it? Yes, of course. So now it is 8:44 and I am downloading the content and logging in and trying to make sure that I am all set. Unfortunately, though, my potatoes are still on the stove, so I need to go get those before I log in. So I have to focus for a second. We'll talk soon. Okay, so I got off the rehearsal and I immediately jumped into the shower because I have to be at the Y at 12. And that rehearsal went until 10, and I am not packed or ready at all because I thought that I was going to have a leisurely morning, and that has not yet been the case. And in a very unfortunate turn of events, it is raining today. So this event that's this weekend is outside. I was hoping to shoot all this stuff outside today so that we could really quickly almost do fake demos or talk about what we're doing outside at the building. But I believe it's pouring out, so that's awesome possum, everybody. So happy that is the case, but we will make do with what we got. And then I need to get out of there no later than 2 and get ready for another planning meeting that's happening tonight for my day job. I also kind of feel like, I felt this yesterday, is that I have a migraine just sitting ready waiting. So hopefully we can kind of keep it away, that's the hope. I did not finish my editing this morning because I thought I had a little bit more time, and I need to clean, I need to do a lot of things, but instead I'm gonna go get myself packed and ready for this 12 o'clock and make sure I'm all set for this afternoon, and then we'll keep talking. I did not do my morning pages. That's the whole thing I wanted to say here, is that I didn't even get a chance to do my morning pages because I got up and immediately started editing thinking I had more time. So that's on me, I guess. Okay, so I think the shoot at the Y went well. I got a call while I was there asking if I could update that landing page that I did last week. I think I vlogged about that. And I got home, updated the page. I have an hour until my next call or meeting. So I got changed and got back in bed. I'm gonna lay down for 30 minutes. My head is killing me. Then we'll see where the day takes us. Hopefully this cures me, I guess. Okay, so I do have to be honest with everyone. Laying in bed for an hour helped a lot. I am now just sitting, listening to the rain. It is absolutely pouring here. Flash flooding, most definitely. But I'm gonna get ready for my next call, and then we'll see where the day takes me. All right, happy Tuesday. So yesterday, I just watched The Summer I Turned Pretty. I binged the last 4 episodes. I did a rewatch, and it was kind of a fun background show, but I realized that I think this is true for all kind of this streaming era TV, is that you watch the first seasons multiple times, and then the last season maybe you only watch it 1 time or 2 times or whatever, right? Because I watched The Summer I Turned Pretty, I watched season 1, and then when season 2 came out, I watched season 1 again, and then season 2, and then when season 3 came out, I watched season 1, and then season 2, and then season 3. And I do think I watched season 3 twice last year to really absorb it all. But season 1 and season 2 was kind of a background show, and I really was not backgrounding. I was fully mouth open watching the TV for season 3. Especially the later episodes that are not in the book. Anyways, neither here nor there. I am out on my little walk, and I don't have a lot of time, but I'm glad that I got out here. So this morning I did my morning pages, and in the morning pages I was kind of lamenting, I guess, about how I didn't do anything yesterday. I wasn't productive enough yesterday. I should have done so much more yesterday. And then I started to realize, again, the thing about morning pages is all of a sudden you're starting to be nice to yourself, because after a page and a half of being mean to yourself, you're like, wait a second. These are my own thoughts in my own head. I can control them. But I started realizing, like, hey, no, you were editing the first thing you got up, and then you took a client call, and then you went and did a quick shoot, and then you got home and you fixed a landing page, and then I did another client call, and I like maybe responded to a couple of messages or comments or emails or whatever. So yeah, I did have a relatively productive Monday. For anyone else in the world who was not me living in my exact world, that would have been a very full and productive Monday, right? But for me, I was like, I didn't do enough, right? Like, I didn't do enough WEC work. I should have like prepped better for my day job, whatever that like excuse is. And then today I was like, well, I need to do with this entire laundry list of things that is totally unrealistic for me to complete in one day. So I don't know. And then I did my affirmations that said, I treat my creativity and myself more gently. I treat myself and my creativity more generously. And truthfully, that's what we got to do, right? Why am I in this rat race with myself? Why am I... And again, I know what it is, right? Like, we did an event recently, and they were like, oh, well, you have to get it up the next day because otherwise people have already forgotten about it. And I understand that's the world of social media, but that just means that like we're constantly churning, and like how can anything be truly good or artistic if I am just like throwing something together just to get it out there? So today I have a board meeting at 9, and then I have a day job rehearsal this afternoon. So I'm hoping to actually like clear out my inbox, because I think it's a disaster in there, and do some more of the things that I said I was going to do yesterday and that I wrote down in my morning pages this morning. But I am really glad that I get to start today with morning pages and a walk. It's very funny because last week I did like definitely feel myself slip off the artist way, right? I was like barely doing morning pages. If I was doing them at all, I was doing them poorly. I really was not walking in the morning, and that was mostly because I had an event I needed to be up and on by 6:30 in the morning, and getting up any earlier seemed outrageous because I was working pretty late into the evening. So this week is nice. I don't have that many early morning sessions. I think I can give myself the grace to allow myself to do this. But it's also a little bit concerning to me that like as soon as I don't have the structure of the artist way, or as soon as I fall out of these habits, what's going to get me back into them? Like, it's only myself. Ugh, I'm the worst disciplinarian there is, right? I am not disciplined with myself. And again, right, like it's so funny because artist way is like you need to have time and space to do these things, but it also does feel like you need to be like called to do the art, right? Like you need to like start doing things, but I don't even know what I'm saying. Another thing that I've kind of been thinking about, like as a business owner, a lot of the extracurriculars I do are also tied to my business, right? Like I joined committees or boards because like it's a good look for my business. It was a way for my business to like meet new people when we got started. And I do really love doing those things, but it means that like it feels like I'm working even when I'm doing those things. And I feel like there's no time where I'm not working, right? Like I just am always like doing things that are either work or work related, right? And maybe I need some things in my life that are not directly tied to my business or my job or my life, but can you do that as a business owner? I don't know.
4, 3, 2, 1.
It's Wednesday, my dudes. I'm having a little bit of a rough go of it, if we're being honest with ourselves. So this morning I had a committee meeting for the Young Professionals Network, and while I was there I got an email from a client slash like friend, and I don't want to like talk about it, right? It's not a bridge that I necessarily want to blow up, but like just something odd, right? Basically being asked to advise for a client that wants to replace us, kind of is how it feels. And during the committee meeting, I just like could not stop my thoughts from spiraling. And I feel like I've kind of been in there all day, like just like getting myself like very upset and worked up. And I like even said on the car ride home from the committee meeting, I was like, oh, should I call her? And Brad was like, to say what? Like, I think we just like let it go, right? And I'm having a hard time, I'm not gonna lie to you. After my committee meeting, I did a little bit of email answering and text answering, and then I got settled in for my ad board that I did for my day job today, and that just ended. So it is a little after 4 p.m., I think, and I'm just now getting out for a walk. I did do my morning pages this morning, which I'm very proud of myself for. Got myself up and did my morning pages before the committee meeting. I do fear, though, when I'm doing this, I do sometimes have to sacrifice like eating breakfast. Like I grabbed a granola bar on the way out because I was like, I could do my morning pages or I could like make breakfast. So I did my morning pages. So the committee meeting I think went well, but like I think I was just so distracted. I don't even remember what happened. And it got me in my head about like, are people unhappy with our work? And am I regressing? This is a feeling that I've been having a lot lately. And I think part of the reason why I decided to do the artist way is that like, it feels as though I'm getting worse at videography, right? Like it should be, you get better with time. Somehow I feel like I've gotten worse. And I don't even know if that's true. I think for a long time we were like, I don't want to say we were the only game in town, because like, I think there's always been like production companies in terms of like doing TV and broadcast. But we were really the first to do digital, to do website, to do social video. So I think for a long time we were novel. And when we work with a new client, obviously when we first come to you, it's going to feel really novel and new and amazing. And we talk a lot about this with festivals, right? Like bigger and better every year. But like at what point do you just sustain? Like, why does everything always have to be bigger and better? Why can't it just be the best that it could be for that year? Like, of course, things are always going to change ever so slightly. But like, if you keep saying, oh yes, it'll be bigger and better, even bigger and better next year, then you keep like raising this bar for yourself, even though the event is already so great. And I think sometimes that's how I feel about like production, right? It's like for our clients that we've been working with for a long time, things change out, but like the formula's kind of, we're resting on our laurels a lot too, right? Like I think this is like when the book talks about like real criticism, like true criticism will land, right? Like we are resting on our laurels a lot, right? Like we do have kind of formulas for some of our clients that like we know work, but they're not particularly as creative as maybe they were when we first started, because at the time of first starting them, they were novelty, they were new, they were different. But now when we're like making these videos or making these like social reels or whatever you want to talk about, like it's the same thing. Like when we first started doing VC, one, the optimal video was square, which is crazy to me. But also, if you were doing one unique video per week, you were like miles and miles ahead of everybody else. For a lot of our clients, we were doing like maybe a video a quarter, and then you would reuse it over the course of that quarter, or we could kind of like adjust it ever so slightly. Like it did not need to be unique content. But now we make, one of our clients is on 12 pieces of content, one is 8 pieces of content, one is 20 pieces of content per month. And it's just the two of us making all of that. And I do think I'm obviously not doing the best for my clients because I'm so creatively burnt out. But also, like, what do you want me to do for 12 pieces of content per month? I don't know. I'm just like feeling a lot of things, and maybe this isn't the life for me anymore. It's like sometimes how I feel. We have always talked about how lucky we are that we get to work with our friends, right? Like we made a lot of friendships through WeSee. And at the end of the day, right, there's always like a client, relationship and a friendship relationship, but it sucks to lose like a friend and client all in one, or to feel hurt. I know business isn't personal, but when you own a small business, I feel like everything is personal. I don't even know if I'm making sense. I'm gonna do a few more laps and try not to cry. I don't know, that sounds so dramatic, but I was just feeling so upset seeing that email in that meeting. I almost like burst into tears. I was like, you have to hold it together. This is why you should not check your email during meetings, everybody. You should stay focused on the meeting. I want to do new fun, cool things, but also I'm tired. And when you have to churn out 40,000 million pieces of content every month, it gets a little tough to make everyone amazing. Also, I haven't planned an artist date in 3 weeks and I've done none of my tasks. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Who knows? We did win a bid today, which made me feel really good. I got a phone call this morning as we were like settling in after the committee meeting, and we had put out a proposal and they were like, deal, you're hired. No, they were like, we loved your proposal, nothing to change. Signing it and sending it to you right now. Can you send over a COI? That's great news. And it did help me get out of my head a little bit that like people are like, hey, we'd love to still work with you. But then like, I think when things like this happen, I think back of like how our clients have moved on to other video production companies or have engaged with other video production companies. And I don't really feel jealous. I feel like not strongly about competition. I think I've talked about this before on here. Like, I don't feel like I'm in competition with other video production company businesses because like there's a lot of work out there. And like Brad and I have discovered that we don't really like working with like tradesmen's contracting work. Like that's not like a thing that we really feel as though we can do justice, but we know there's other videographers around here who do great work for them, and that's awesome. We're happy for them. They can take that work. I will gladly suggest them. But I know that we do great work in other areas, so it makes me sad when like I thought we did a good job and then I find out that they engaged with another company and it was like, oh, were you not happy with our work? Was it something that we did that like made you not want to engage with us again for another project? I don't know. Also, all to say, like it's sometimes so hard to be like, is WeSee failing? And then like, right, like the only thing you can really do is look at the numbers. And despite however I feel about WeSee, we are having like financially our best year ever, which is crazy to say in the year 2026 when, you know, I know so many businesses are struggling. I don't know if it'll keep up for the second half of the year, but I just today was doing a look at the first half of this year versus the first half of last year, and we have doubled our revenue, a little bit more than doubled our revenue from 2025 the first 2 quarters to 2026 the first 2 quarters, which is amazing. And I think it's a lot to do with the work we put in early on, and I think it's also like charging much more appropriately this year, which is amazing, and I would love to continue that momentum. But also I just told you how exhausted I am and how I feel like I'm not good enough at my job. So I don't know, the cognitive dissonance is very interesting and fun and weird, to like feel all of that. And then it was like, oh, I haven't looked at the first half of the year. Let's look at it, and to have that be the outcome, right? It's Thursday. I haven't done a single thing for The Artist Way this week yet again. I have an event that's maybe on Saturday, but more than likely on Sunday, that I'm stressed that nobody is gonna come to. My friends are having a hard time and I wish I could just solve all their problems. And I feel like my business is going through a hard time, and as a direct result of like, for a long time, we always under-promised, over-delivered. And now I feel like the opposite is happening. I don't feel like it's going as well as I want it to. I am just having a really rough go of it. And like, unfortunately, my thought is to burn it all down, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe this is this whole like burnout treadmill thing, is like, I feel like I've been working so hard for so long and it's not enough. And we're at a point where it's like worse than ever. Like, I feel like I'm just like, every corner is a new challenge, and not like in a fun, like, it's not challenging in the work, it's challenging in the people and the management and the politics of it all. And I don't know, I'm just really going through it, I fear. And it sucks. Part of me is like, okay, well, like, I've been talking recently about some of my volunteer obligations and some board positions I'm on, like, when are they going to be up, you know, and some committees I'm on that, like, maybe are no longer the right fit for me. And maybe that's the thing, maybe we just drop them all and we start over, and I go get a job, a job, and I know I have one of those presently, but it is not. I'm very lucky in my day job that I can do it, and I have the flexibility to also run a business, and that it allows me to work from home and all these things, but it is not fulfilling me in the way that I want a career to, which is why we started Weezy in the first place, right? Like, but maybe it's time to, I don't know, go back to a job that is fulfilling that, like, role that I want it to in my life. And this sounds also stupid when I hear my other friends' problems. You know, I don't have kids. Most of my friends have kids. I manage freelancers, but I'm not really a people manager in a lot of ways that my other friends or other, you know, peers are. So it feels so stupid to say all of this, to, like, complain about it, because I have a very cushy job. I get paid bi-weekly. I have insurance that I half pay for, right? Like, my company covers, I think, about half, or maybe about like 75% of it. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to look again. And it feels stupid to complain about it. It feels so dumb to not be grateful and not to take advantage, and not take advantage in the way of, like, scheme and, like, you know, theft and whatever, but, like, take advantage of the flexibility that I'm given. Why should I not live in my life to the fullest and whatever? I don't know. But what I do know is there's a lot of work waiting for me back in my apartment. So I need to get back over there. It's 10:30. I need to get in the shower. Got my salad. Got a donut for me and one for Brad, because why not? Also, this new trend on Instagram is everybody's whispering, and I don't get that. I don't understand. Why is that a trend? What's happening? Need to get up off of this floor and keep pushing, right? Happy Friday. Right. Another week has gone by where I have not done any of the Artist Way tasks. I had the exposure down to take that other video of the woods, and I was like, the shadows under my eye look a little worse than normal. That's so funny. Anyways, I have a show today at 10, so I'm just trying to get a little walk in. It is about 8 in the morning. I did my morning pages. I'm out my walk. Good things are happening. Definitely rained overnight. Everything is a little damp. I think it's supposed to be another rainy day today. And then they're calling for rain tomorrow. So I'm supposed to have an event tomorrow, but we have a rain date for Sunday. So I'm wondering when that call will be made, if it'll be made, what's the vibe. But I have a meeting at the Y this afternoon. So I'm sure I'll find out then. But for now, I am just enjoying my walk.
I make it look easy, and that's the difference. I'm showing up, you're on the fence. I try again, it's all pretend. I burn all over you. You burn out so quick, but you take your time with everything else, and I'm sick of it. Through a bend and I break too. I wish it was the other way around.
Okay, so this is a question for the hypermobile people out there. I've never been diagnosed with anything, literally anything ever in my life, because I just probably don't go to the doctor enough. But I have always worn either Converse or basically unsupportive shoes, right? Converse, Vans, whatever. They work very well for me because I basically would rather be barefoot. But yesterday when we were setting up, I was wearing my Converse and they're still pretty wet, so I had to wear what I think are basically running shoes for my walk this morning, and I just keep rolling my ankles, and these are supposed to be like supportive, supportive to run shoes, and that's why I never wear them, basically, because every time I do, I just like roll my ankles like crazy. Like, is this just like a skill issue? Is this because I only wear unsupportive shoes that like my feet don't know what to do? I've forgotten how to walk. But truthfully, that's like why I never wear like supportive sneakers, because I have really high arches as it is, and whenever I wear supportive sneakers, my ankles roll, right? So I'd rather be in Converse, I'd rather be in Vans, I'd rather be and basically anything else. But I can wear heels. I feel like it's getting worse as I'm getting older, but even as a youth I could run in some heels, right? And I found that I still kind of have that ability with a correctly fitting shoe. Happy Sunday. So yesterday the event went off. It was greatly raining the whole day. We had no moments without rain, but it all worked out. It was like a colorful event and people were already prepared to get messy, so who cares if it gets also soaking wet. But it did exhaust me, right? Like, I got home and I was like, oh, everything hurts. I just like could not get warm. Literally like got home, stripped and got in the shower because I was just covered in paint and dirt and like it was wet. So today I am just relaxing. I need to get some work done and I want to do my Artist Way tasks so I can move on. But Pocopia is doing a special event, a shooting star event kind of thing, and it's very fun and cute. So I'm trying to do a little bit of that. I'm having fun. It's very like questy, but like crafty quest. Like, hey, do me this favor. Can you make me a bed? Can you get me some tea? So that's what I'm doing. I haven't played Pocopia in like probably 2 months. Like, I played it so much when it first came out, and now they're doing some like DLCs and some updates, so it's fun. So my island is not pretty. You like Minecraft people, you know how to do it. It's not very pretty. Also, most of my Pokemon are just like in grass. But I'm having some fun and I would love to get all of the starry items. And then I do eventually need to do some work, I guess. But for now, I'm gonna go put down a Pokebed by Hoo Hoot's house and give Combi her tea, and I need to find a slender candle. I don't have a recipe for that, so we'll find it, I'm sure, or maybe I'll go print it. But that's the plan for now, and I'll do the Artist Way here shortly. So I'm doing my activities, I'm doing my tasks, and I remember talking about this, and I just had like this realization as I'm doing it. It's list 20 things you like to do. And I remember crashing out about this when we did this. I don't know, this was like very early. I feel like this was week 1 or 2. And I was like, oh my God, I can't think of 10 things I like to do. Like, it was just, it was crazy. I was like 20, like I don't even know what I like to do. And I, without even like thinking about it too hard, just sat down and wrote 20 things I like to do. And listen, are they the most like interesting things in the world? No, but like I did not have a full existential crisis like I did however many weeks ago. So just something interesting. I am struggling with these tasks a little bit because I feel like they are asking a lot of me. Like, one of them is like a goal search, and it's just hard because my goals feel so unachievable right now. I don't know. So it's kind of like I'm writing them down. I'm like, she's like, well, write down, and in an ideal world, I would want to be an actress, and like my goals are not necessarily the most like, and maybe I'm doing it wrong because like my goals are not necessarily art related, right? Like my goals are like to be a homeowner, to have a healthy business, to have financial security, right? Like it's not about like getting a Broadway review, which sounds like that's also a great goal to have, but like I just am not feeling very much that my goals are necessarily artistic in the way that the tasks are asking them to be. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe I do need to set like an artist goal. Like what's a goal that I want to achieve that is not related to health, wealth, or business, right? Like, but I'm going to keep going because I am on task 5 of 8, and I would like to get this done so I can clean a little bit and make dinner. I meant to close out the vlog before I walk to and from work, but here we are, nice and sweaty. I think I mentioned this in my last vlog, but Julia is often very contradictory and also shows her biases a lot, right? So I think it's very interesting because she's like, there's no right or wrong way to be an artist. Artists are all going to have different goals and everybody's going to achieve their path differently and da-da-da-da-da, right? Like, but I don't know. The more I do it, the more I see her bias that art needs to be created in isolation and by yourself. And I just think that that is so the opposite of my core beliefs. I mean, I've been yapping on this here internet and around the town about community for a while now. So there's just so much more inspiration in experiencing art together or partaking in art together. And I think that truly in my ideal world, right, we're talking about dreams and ideal days and all the things, I am working on a team. Like that's the thing I think I miss a lot. And I just need to find what that team means, and I need to create a team that works for my business and for my life. But being on a team, having that community, having that, you know, group all working towards a common goal is so wonderful. And it's definitely a thing that I'm missing as of late over the last couple of years, I will say also, right? But we'll see what happens with week 9. I'm going to go unpack my groceries and make dinner and get ready for another week. Get ready for July. Get ready for week 9. And I will catch you in the next one.